Hey guys, it's Zainef and welcome to another Epicinium video. This one is, as you can see, the ChargingCheetah AI against the HungryHippo AI. And I should remember to hold my right mouse pause the recording. So I wrote the ChargingCheetah AI and I can play against it myself, but I know how to beat it pretty easily, so I let it play against the other AI and see how it does. So it does have over 90% win rate against all the other AIs. On this map at least, but this game I took one that took a little bit longer. So normally it just rush a gunner, rush a militia on the other side, and then it wins within 2 years. But this one took a bit longer, so I can show some more of its strengths and maybe weaknesses. So as you can see right away, barracks and industry turn 1, gunner turn 2, 2 outposts turn 2. Pretty aggressive. Wants to spam units immediately. You can see this militia has no chance against the gunner. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. You can see the HungryHippo doesn't really have that strategy, just builds 2 barracks, settler for a farm I think. But the 2 barracks is very useless because you can't spam enough units early on to justify 2 barracks anyway. But now it starts making industry for money as well. And for tanks of course. I think HungryHippo just make tanks, but I made ChargingCheetah to not make tanks because I don't like them that much, and I think they're hard to utilize correctly if you write an AI. In game, I would maybe use them myself, but in writing an AI, it's harder. I think gunner spam is easier. So at this point, it made militia here. I think it made a single militia here, or I just missed that it got shot. Yeah, it definitely got shot because there's a tile here that got hit as well. So it basically just sends the gunner straight to the enemy city and hopes to win very quickly by capturing the city. Only this time, as you are gonna see, it doesn't work out that well, unfortunately, because of this. So tank has 3 hit points, industry has 3 hit points as well, and the gunner shoots 3 times. So it's a 1 in 8 to either kill the tank, and a 1 in 8 to kill the industry, and it's 3 in 4 to do nothing here. So you're gonna have to be a bit lucky to kill something here. So yeah, I think ChargingCheetah is just gonna mesh its units into the industry and the tank over and over again. And that might take a while, especially since the tank can kill units pretty easily. So you're gonna see that for a while. That's kind of a fault of the AI. It's not smart enough to then put a unit below it and focus it, so you get a guaranteed kill on either one, or to just not make any units upgrade the barracks, which is also maybe not a good idea, because then if he makes gunners and you rush you, then you don't have money. But well, it does upgrade eventually, so it does have some insurance policies for that. Myself, I would just make a sapper here and bombard it, but that's also very hard to code. So I think ChargingCheetah is coded to make sappers only if you have a certain amount of gunners to be sure that they're protected, because you don't want sappers in direct gunfire. So of course there's kind of you have to set a hard limit. So I think it makes sappers when there's 4 gunners at least. Maybe I should lower that number, but on bigger maps it's really justified that number. It's just this map's a bit small. So I'm not sure if you're gonna hear this in the video, but the music just got way softer, which is kind of weird. Might be because I'm using the recording. Place the titles for music first, and might just die down after one loop. I hope that this doesn't impact the recording too much. Anyway, you see here I kill the tank, and then the other one just takes its place. So that's kind of bad. You can also see here that the militia are close to taking the city, but I think they're gonna get shot at by these militia. That's a bit of a coincidence. But even if they were to take the city, the ChargingCheetah has some defense mechanisms programmed in. I think you're gonna see that later in this game as well. So it's not an automatic loss. For example, if you take the city for HungryHippo, Rampant Rhino, or I think even Neural Newt, they're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen, just spam units to the other city towards the enemy, and not try to take back the city. But for ChargingCheetah, I especially made it so it tries to take back the city, because there were some losses where it lost by unlucky militia RNG in the early game, and then just loses in like 2 or 3 years, because it doesn't try to take back the city, even though it has a gunner close by and there's a militia in the city. So it's kind of silly. So there's there's a lot of hard-coded things in there, like the whole gunner spam from turn 1, and placing the barracks in the this direction and here in this city. So one other thing I would like to add is making the units, when you make the unit to make it offensive. So if you make the unit in this barracks, you put it here, but now it just makes it in the barracks. And the third thing I should add is frostbite avoidance, because you're going to see later in this game there's going to be frostbite. It's going to slow things down. And also this, you just saw here, these militia try to pass here, even though they have vision of these militia. They know they're in the fire, they're gonna get attacked if they walk by. But the AI doesn't know that, so it just tries to casually walk by. So there's gonna be it's not a perfect AI. Could improve a lot more, but well, I don't know C++ really, so I kind of learned it a little bit, and of course I didn't try the whole game. Although I have to say it was pretty easy to read the code from Unarmed Lieutenant's Live, but well, changing it is a whole nother beast. So I used the original HungryHippo and I changed a lot of things in there, but the structure is the same, so that's why it was possible for me to change it. I'm not good at writing from scratch for this, because of course I didn't make the game, like I said. But it was the HungryHippo code was clear enough that I could pretty easily edit it a bit, and then just hard code a lot in it, make some strategy, add some more units. I added sapper functionality because HungryHippo itself doesn't make sappers, and yeah, so that was possible. But I think there's some limits to what I can do without studying the code a lot. So some improvements might not be possible. Well, I'll try to improve it sometime in the future. There's still some easy things that can be fixed. So as you can see here, it built a second farm. I don't really agree with this positioning, but this it's decent, not the best. I would put it here, maybe here? I don't know, maybe here. And then just city's not going to get more than 3 anyway, so you might as well use the surrounding tiles and just never build anything in the city. Anyway, you can see it starts to upgrade the barracks now, so it should get double or triple gunners at some point, and then this tank and industry will fall. And maybe it will take something in the north as well, because it does make more outposts than the other side of the farm, so it spams more militia. So that's good at least, but let's see how we're doing economy-wise. So it's now 6 to 7 in gold. You're gonna see at the end of the year. Well, I think it's pretty even except for this farm. So it's 34 and 26, and it was 6 and 7, so it makes 9 more. There's also 2 tiles gone here, so it basically always makes 2 industry. It always makes 2 farms, and I think it tries to make more industry than 2. I think it should make an industry here as well, but I'm not sure if it's possible because this is dirt. But usually it just it makes 2 barracks at the most, and then just keeps spamming industry while there's space next to cities. So it's not a very environment friendly AI. It just wants to win. I think this is on hard, of course, but on medium it doesn't make farms, so it's a bit more environmental friendly. And on easy, I think it might not even make industry. I forgot. So then it's kind of different, of course. The strategy is the same, but it generates way less economy, so it's able to upgrade barracks less quickly. Actually, it's still pretty slow in layer 5, but at least it utilizes the upgraded barracks, because HungryHippo doesn't make anything from these barracks right now. I think this might also be the old HungryHippo, where there's a glitch that it doesn't build riflemen. So I'm probably gonna have to record a new game sometime with a good HungryHippo where it does make riflemen, but the idea is kind of the same. So the riflemen wouldn't really do much against the gunners, but they might help in the top. I think the HungryHippo code also sends riflemen from these barracks straight to this city, so the top is pretty much lost for the HungryHippo. So now we got a global warming, so there's going to be frost by the winter, and well, there's some open space here, so that's pretty bad. Some units going to die. And you can see they're still after year 5. I think they started in year 1 or early year 2, and at year 5 they're still just lining up here in a straight line. trying to slam their heads against this Industrian tank. And in the meantime, they did capture the top already, which is kind of funny. But these two militia, of course, are also never gonna get that tank. So you can see Frostbite's pretty bad. This gunner's willingly gonna move there, even though there's Frostbite. So then, yeah. Oh, also red took the blue city. So you can see how it's gonna defend now. So basically, just sends any gunner that's within, I think, 5 or 7 tiles to that city, and it's also gonna make more gunners. Normally, it doesn't make anything at the barracks unless it's fully powered, because of course you don't want to spend 15 gold, and if you can wait 2 turns and get 3 gunners for the same price. But now it forces it to make a gunner because it has to defend. So now this might be a bit overkill with 3 gunners against 2 militia, but of course the AI doesn't know that there's 2 militia there. It only knows that its city has been occupied. So, but this might send in the right direction, because now it finally made the triple gunners, and now that we have enough gunners, it might also finally make sappers, and then sappers can finally kill this tank. So sappers for this AI work in a priority system. So sappers, they keep moving towards the city, but if they're close enough to an enemy unit, they try to bombard the enemy unit, and if they're close enough to buildings, they try to bombard that. If there's multiple targets in range, they have a priority system. So I think they bombard barracks first, because in my opinion, triple gunners and triple sappers are the most scary units there are. So they want to bombard that first. After that, I think they bombard maybe gunners or sappers, so the units first, and after that the cities. Maybe I should change that to bombard the cities first, so you have a win condition, but in my opinion, once you kill the barracks, then focus on killing the units, then you have no problem killing the city anymore. Okay, so these militia just finally killed 1 building of the city. That's funny. So maybe these militia will actually move here, and then they can focus here and kill something, or they just wait for all these militia to die to the tanks, and then just send in the double or triple ones. So it's I think this game should be almost over, but it took way longer than it should. So normally it just rushes and wins, but I think this game shows some of the faults of the AI pretty well. Still don't know why there's no sappers though. Should definitely make some. Also in this case you see there's a unit down here, can't make a sapper because there's a unit down there and only tries to make it in the tile itself instead of on a 3 tile. So that's a shame as well. So I'm just gonna go and fast forward this. Hope you learned something from it. I hope you try the AI yourself. It's more challenging than the other ones I think, but it's still an AI, so it's still pretty easy to exploit, especially if you know what it's doing. But for new players, it should be a bit more challenging because it's way more aggressive. So you have to learn to defend real quick. So I'm just gonna fast forward and see you guys next time. Hope to make some more videos this year, still probably. I'm gonna have to see how much work I have to do. But we'll see. I still have one video from I think 1.5 months ago against Duadox. It's currently on 95 rating or something. This guy's grinding so much. But it was a really interesting game. I tried to... I didn't record voice for the video, but I tried to make a voiceover afterwards. But then the sound was all wrong. So I'm gonna have to retry that. Got some other software for that. But I hope to show that video. It was really interesting. Okay, you see now. In the end, they didn't get through here. They would have. So they got a militia because in there because the tank moved ahead. So yeah, that's. I also ended with a lot of gold because he doesn't spend much more. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.